Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hang out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy Ted.
Join us as these players are about to take a ride on the Vampire Express.
Jump down in the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy the newsletter. Get weekly gaming tips as well as learn how to game with us.
Hey, you know what else you can find in that description down there? That is the original GM911 post. If you got your own GM911s, you can send them to nerdarchy@gmail.com. Subject line, GM911.
All right, so this is from Majalius, if I pronounce that correctly. And the problem is the players, the characters, have encountered a vampire and sought its ire, and now they're going to encounter it again. If the party doesn't start the fight, the vampire is likely to do so. He doesn't want to just out and out kill the players. So Majalius wants to know, can he change the stats on the vampire, give it a charm effect that affects everybody as opposed to one, and give them a fun challenge of trying to break out from this charm.
So there's a couple things going on, and one of the things is, like, he doesn't want to take away their player agency, so that's going on. He doesn't want it to be too easy, that's going on. And then you also have the fact that, for whatever reason, he's decided the vampire must fight them or overcome them somehow, right? Or kill them. So, like, unfortunately, your perspective is very black and white. And you could have them fight the vampire and just have him knock them all out and walk away. Literally could be a thing he could do. And you know what? You don't have to explain it to your players. You don't have to know why. You can figure it out later, when they encounter him or hunt him down again. That's one thing.
Greatest thing to do is to let the PCs come up with ideas or speculate on why something happened. You don't know how many times us as GMs have put something out there, left it open, and the moment that the players say X, you're like, you're 100% right. You love that idea, you write it down, and that's what you had all along.
You're kind of like, in a certain way, you're kind of overthinking it. And then the other thing is, you have to pick and choose where to give your players agency, because guess what? In real life, we do not have 100% agency. We may like to think we do. Like, some people are like, I love my job, it's safe and secure. And then they work there for 10 years and they get laid off. How could this happen? Because they were wrong. It wasn't safe and secure. You're driving down the road and someone hit your car, now it's totaled. Now you don't have a car. Like, you had no control over that. And your game is very much like that too. So, but the difference between real life and the game is, in the game it's a story and we're telling it. And sometimes we don't have to fill in the pieces right away. You guys all wake up in the castle and you're wearing these really nice manacles that have runes on them. Don't know how you got them. Don't know where they came from. And
you don't know what to do.
You don't know what to do. And maybe the compulsion is in those. It doesn't let them leave. It doesn't let them go near the actual coffin. They feel aggressive by anyone that comes into the castle that is not the vampire. So you can do things and just, instead of going through and mechanically having to figure it out, like, that's the worst way to do anything. Like, you're going to go like, you know what? I'm going to give the vampire power, and he's going to charm all the players. And the DC is going to be so high, they're going to fail, and they're going to all be charmed.
And someone's going to roll a natural 20.
And someone's going to roll a natural 20 and screw up all your plans. And then you have to kill that one person because you live in this world of absolutes.
I think you've even gone further than you need to. All right. No, he says that the players are going to encounter this vampire. Number one, why? Why are they going to do it? If you're afraid that the PCs are going to have an encounter, that they are potentially going to fight,
they will encounter the vampire. Remember this, Ted. Next time. Oh, no one's holding a gun to his head?
So you have, as the DM, you have ultimate control over what the party faces or doesn't face. All right, they're hunting this vampire down. Everything points to it's going to be in this castle. They have no idea what kind of fight is on their hands. Well, you know what? The vampire's aware of these guys, and he's trying to toy with them. They lied to him, and he's figured it out. So you know what? He's going to cause them as much pain and suffering as possible. So he's put a spawn there. It might look exactly like him. It might do everything, but you know what? It's going to be something that's a weaker vampire. That's something that they're going to be able to face. They fight, the spawn dies. Or maybe the spawn has to flee, or they have to flee, depending upon how the dice rolls go. But you make it something that is more of a challenge for them, as opposed to a total party kill, TPK. And everybody's happy. The vampire's still alive, so you can still use him in your story later. Players have survived because they didn't go up against something that's too powerful for them. Everybody wins.
And also, like, as a GM, don't be afraid to break mechanics and break the game and use things that don't exist. For whatever reason, for this particular vampire or whatever, like, they find him when he's sleeping, they put a stake through his heart, they think they've destroyed him, but for some reason they haven't. He's still around, he still exists, he's somewhere else. You've planned it, it's part of the story, that's fine. Or, like Ted said, he's got a doppelganger that's there. In my mind, I'm like, there's a contingency spell. When he gets, as soon as the stake touches his chest, a dummy replaces him or whatever, or some kind of magical clone, and he's teleported to a safe house. Or, there's no reason why he can't just fight them, knock them all out, and leave them for dead because he doesn't think they're worth killing right now. Or he's got a plan for them. He's going to use them in some other way.
So you can take this in so many different directions depending upon what else you have planned.
Yeah. It seems like the DM's trapped in their own story. Like the story is now holding you hostage, and that shouldn't be like that. You should let it grow and evolve in different directions, and be okay with it. To be okay with sometimes that thing you planned was going to be so cool is now trash, and you're never going to use it. You're never going to see it. Your players have peed all over it. Essentially, happens all the time. It's part of the game. You're going to get thrown curveballs. You're going to have to do something else. That's D&D. Embrace it and change with it.
All right. So getting to what he wants to do, they can be kidnapped, via the manacles, and that becomes a challenge of what are the manacles? How do you get them off? How do you flee? And perhaps there's a whole sequence with that. Okay, you could charm them, and they have to then fight the riddle of this charm. Make it be a some kind of puzzle that they have to solve. Don't overthink it. So when they try to come up with something, if you think the vampire would have a contingency against that, that doesn't work. But don't have a solid solution. Allow the players to be creative and come up with something. And if you like that idea, that's it. That works.
So the other thing you can do too is, like, first of all, if you want something to happen in the game, just say it happened. Like, that is so much better than worrying about what your players are going to do, what the roles are going to be, whatever. They went to bed in the tavern. They woke up in this lavish palace, and there's a lord there. And they don't know how they got there. They don't know why they're working for him, but they are, right? And describe him not as the vampire, first off. And I need your help. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. And then he offers them whatever. But this is all part of, like, a dream sequence, or not so much a dream sequence, but, like, they're trapped in this, like, fake dream where everything around them is, like, kind of illusionary, and they perceive it a certain way. And you just kind of you could just lay it out for them. In a way where they would want to help them. And the other thing too is, like, how did we get here? I don't know. We don't know. He could say, I don't know either. I just, I sent the message and you guys came. It could be a mystery to him and be like, oh, we need to solve this. And he could be on your side and be trying to help you. In the meantime, every time they try or even, like, you could Scooby-Doo them. When they try and leave the castle, they just they end up somewhere else in the castle. You can do things like that, so they have to solve the riddle or the puzzle. But if you feel like that's integral to the story you want to tell, obviously you have to give them ways out. But at the same time, just saying this happened is generally the best way. Because here's what happens, right? We end up jury rigging and doing all this stuff to make the thing happen we want it to happen anyway. And you might have to jump out through all these hoops to do that. Instead of doing that, remove the hoops and go, that's what happened. If your player, I find most players don't care. Like, if they're there to play the game and tell the story, They want to do that. Now, if you have players that want to win D&D, well, yeah, you're going to have that problem. But if you're a fair DM and your objective is to entertain your players and have fun telling the story, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
So, what do you guys think? Do you have any suggestions for this GM and this vampire encounter? There's a great place to continue that conversation down in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Go check us out at nerdarchy.com.
So until next time, stay nerdy.